What's going on, you guys? It's Ginger on Wheels here. We're gonna be speed testing the Inmotion RS Midnight from Voro Motors. I get asked a lot, is the Wolf GTR faster or is the Inmotion RS Midnight faster? And I really don't know. So today we've got this thing out on a full charge. I've got the rebound on the suspension tight, I've got the steering damper tight, and we're just gonna full send it down the road on a full charge. If you haven't subscribed already, this would be a great time to do that. Let's get ready to ride. All right, this is gonna be it, our top speed test on the Inmotion RS Midnight. We've got the draggy reset, we've got full power. So in theory, this thing should go faster, right? It's got a 68 mile per hour advertised top speed. The GTR is only 65 top speed advertised. We did hit 60 on the GTR. I weighed 230 pounds in that video. I weighed 227 pounds in this video. I'm not wearing my backpack. So let's see how fast this thing actually goes, shall we? 1, 2, 3, go. Leaning all the way over the front of the bars, no traction control. I'm gonna crouch down so we get extra top speed. Let's check the numbers real quick. That was intense. I'm shaking like a schoolgirl. Whew. All right, it looks like we got 0 to 15 in 2 seconds, 0 to 20 in 3 seconds, 0 to 30 in 4.3 seconds. That's very quick. Ugh. 0 to 50 in 14 seconds, 0 to 55 in 22 seconds, and you can see right after about 56 miles per hour. It took us a really long time to get up to 58, but that was our top speed. So we're 2 miles per hour slower than the GTR and considerably slower acceleration. I'll remind you, the GTR got to 60 miles per hour in 18 seconds. This thing took 38 to get to 58 miles per hour, but it goes pretty quick up to 56 miles per hour. It's very comparable from 0 to 55 miles per hour. And I did have a bit of wheel spin off the line there, but not a lot I can do. We have street tires. And there is no boost mode on this scooter. Like the GTR, you can double tap the throttle on the GTR and that thing will give you an extra few amps. This scooter does not have that feature. You can see on the curve there for speed, yeah, after about 40 miles per hour, it really tapers off, but it does get going up to 47, 48. Not bad. Yep, there you have it, 58 miles per hour top speed. I know some of you might be pretty disappointed right now, so let's chat about it for a little bit. So on paper, like I said, this thing should go faster, right? 68 miles per hour advertised top speed versus the Wolf GTR, 65 mile per hour top speed. They're both fantastic machines, the GTR and the RS, but out of all the hundreds of miles I've done on both of them, I've come to the conclusion that if you want something that you can off-road with, that's still ludicrously fast on the streets, go for the GTR. The build quality is lower, and it doesn't have as many features, but it is faster, there's no doubt. And the suspension is much softer. It's better for off-roading in my opinion. If you want something for the streets, if you mostly find yourself riding in the road, go for the RS. The RS Midnight is insane. It's got adjustable suspension, rebound, compression. You can adjust the angle and the geometry of the suspension. You can adjust the bar height. It's got a built-in steering damper you can adjust. It's got 10 amp hours of more battery. It's got a bigger deck, extra real estate for you to park your feet on long rides. It's got a quarter twist throttle, which makes it a lot easier on your wrists when you're just cruising on the street. It's got the single button push cruise control that actually works. When you have cruise control activated, you can just push the button while you're holding the throttle and it'll lock the speed in for you. This thing is much more friendly to ride in the streets. The GTR height is so high off the ground too because of that beefy suspension that you're a lot more top heavy too. So you got lower center of gravity on this thing. It just feels much safer to ride on the road. And it feels like a properly built machine. I can tell you too that I've seen a lot of instances now of Kaabo not greasing the front steering head bearings on the Mantis and the Wolf series. There's steering bearings that allow you to turn your bars left to right, and Kaabo isn't greasing those. So when you ride them in the rain, they develop notches and get really sticky. So you have to grease the head bearings yourself if you want to go riding off-road in the rain or in the mud. The RS build quality just pretty much can't be beat. Maybe, possibly, the Segway GT2 but the suspension on that thing and the top speed on that thing has got nothing on the RS Midnight. If you want something though with the RS Midnight build quality, but you don't want to spend $4,000, they do have the Inmotion RS Lite now, which is $1,000 less. It goes 10 miles per hour slower, and I think it has a 30 amp hour battery, but that's a really good way to sneak your way into a high quality scooter without having to drop $4 grand. And those are in stock right now at Vora Motors. The Inmotion RS Midnight is sold out right now. I think I read that it was going to take them another month before they got those back in. If I'm not going on a hardcore off-road ride and I'm choosing between the two scooters, they're both fully charged up and I'm in my living room, I'm going to choose the RS Midnight every time. It's just a much more comfortable machine, and if I want to go to the Seattle Saturday night ride, I can ride all the way from my house to downtown Seattle, do the whole Saturday night ride, and ride all the way back on one charge. I cannot do that on the GTR. I can tell you from experience, I had to walk the thing home, and they are heavy scooters. If, however, I'm feeling really frisky, got a lot of adrenaline, or I drank too much coffee that day, and I really want to go off-roading, the GTR is definitely my choice. It's got the trigger throttle, which makes off-roading easier. You got much higher ground clearance, squishier suspension. If you need it, you have traction control on the front tire, and it's a much more rugged machine. The suspension on this thing, even though it is adjustable, I think the springs themselves are actually firmer, so it's a lot harder to bounce up and down, and it doesn't have as much travel. The ride is just a lot stiffer on the RS. I'm not saying that it's too stiff, it's still really great suspension, don't get me wrong. Better than most scooters, but it's just not very conducive to off-roading. Oh man, that top speed test was fun though. So there you have it, folks. 58 mile per hour top speed on the RS Midnight compared to 60 on the GTR, but the Midnight is loaded full of features that the GTR does not have, and it's a much more comfortable scooter. If you enjoy this kind of insider information, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to keep the videos coming. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.